What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Today we got a Jujutsu Kaisen character, Suguru, the main villain sort of in Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, I haven't watched the movie yet, but I know there is like a dubbed version somewhere, but I haven't seen it. I want to wait for the subtitle of the one. First subtitle is the dub. I just can't. I don't know, it's weird when the mouths kind of move different. Anyway, why am I saying this? You're here to draw. Landscape page. Use a pencil and an eraser and hit your pause button if I go too fast. So let's go. We start with his eyes. Center point about here on my page. We'll just come up a tiny little bit and go over to the right. We'll start with his top eyelid. So we go diagonal first, right? And then you sort of change direction and go over the top, like so. You can add maybe sort of a spike just here. And you want to thicken up the top eyelid, so you want to just make it a little bit darker than your other lines. It makes the eyes of characters in anime stand out. So see, I'm just adding some extra weight to the line. So then the bottom line, kind of just a normal one. So it goes diagonal that way and then across, like so. Real slender eyes. And then his iris, circle under there like that. And his pupil, another smaller circle under the eyelid, like so. So we come over and start the other eye. So you're about, you can't, in Jujutsu Kaisen, the eyes aren't in proportion, right? So what that means is normally a human eye will fit in between the two eyes. But because these eyes are so big, I usually say 3/4, right? So 3/4 of his eye will fit in there, just between the two eyes, right? So you don't want to go over a full eye distance. Okay, so about that much of his eye is the distance over you want to go. And then you do your diagonal line, and then you change your direction again, and you go over the top, back that way. And then you thicken it up and add any extra details you want on the eyelashes. So extra details as in like just a little line that comes off the front there like that. And adding your extra weight, right? Then bottom eyelid, just a standard line, not thickened up, just like that again. And then his iris and pupil, so just a half circle underneath the eyelid, like so, and then his pupil just in there. And don't worry if your eyes aren't exactly the same. They don't have to be. Right, and then eyelid lines and details around the eyes. So we go like an eyelid line just here. Something else here. And his eyebrows, real skinny black eyebrows. So they just go across top of his head like this. And they're a little bit thicker at the front, so you just add a sort of area that you can kind of color in. And they get thin as we go around the back. And you do the same thing up here. Line like so. And just add a sort of a thicker area. And they'd be colored like this, roughly the same color as his hair and his head. He has some lines just underneath his eyes here. And then his nose, so coming down from this eyebrow, right, on the left-hand side, the bridge of his nose isn't right in the middle, it goes down this way. Slightly over to the left on the inside of his face. And then we got nostrils, so just like standard anime style nostrils, just these curved lines. and then his mouth. So he's smiling with his mouth open. Now we'll draw it at first with the mouth closed, and then we'll open it up. So smile lines like the edge of the mouth usually line up with the eyes, right? So say like we'll go just across here, and like that, real big, like kind of evil smile. Start underneath here, and it has some sort of these kind of curved lines on it. Like so. So he already looks sneaky. And then his bottom lip, open up his mouth. So we just go down this way. And then around. And up here. And then we can see some teeth down here. So his bottom teeth just curves around, follows that line again. And his tongue is in there, but you might have a little bit of a shadow just in the corners of his mouth, just to show that it's kind of dark inside. All right, and then we have a little bottom lip line and his chin. Square chin. So roughly speaking, like in this picture, his proportions are a little bit out of whack because his head is tilted forward. So chin to nostril is about the same as nostril to eyes, right? Roughly. Might be a little bit more, but here to here will roughly bring it to his eyes there, right? So this is like halfway between the eyes and the chin, the nostrils, right? That's your standard human proportion. And then nostrils to the bottom lip area. Maybe the teeth in this one because his mouth is open. So nostrils to teeth is about the same as teeth to chin. Okay, so this is probably about halfway between here and here. And then this is about halfway between here and here. Okay, so we'll just check that again. Boom. And then here, there. So that's roughly the proportion you're going for anyone who likes proportions. So then jaw out that way, jaw goes out this way, and you're like roughly, like his head is probably like a little bit tilted, but you're kind of stopping at his mouth just here. It doesn't have to be exact, right? So like in the picture I'm drawn from, his jawline here is longer than this. That's just the way the animators did it. And it still looks okay. So like the main thing, like don't worry if things aren't the exact same on both sides. You can make them the exact same if you're really particular, but you don't have to, right? So we'll just go up the side, change direction here. And then we'll go up the side, change our direction here. So this will go up a little bit higher because he's hair down here, right? But we'll bring it up just close to the eyebrow. Now, right, like that. And you notice like the jaws are kind of different, but that's okay. They're different in the picture that I'm drawing from, this official image. Right. So then, sideburns here, right? It comes up like so. And then his ears come down around. And then the ear comes out this way, down, in. Kind of lined them up roughly. Doop, boop. Yeah, so we got like a little bit of a head tilt. And then cartilage lines inside. The easiest way is a letter J. Like this. Right? Always reminds me of a J or a T. And then his earrings that he has. Like that. And then you can add some more ear lines just to make it a little bit more detailed if you want. That's roughly all you need. So then his hair, right? So his top of his forehead is like here, and you have this V for the middle of his hairline. And I'd say like top of the forehead to the eyebrows is, well, top of the forehead to the eyes maybe is about the same as eyes to nose, right? So here to here is about the same as here to here. Just if you're wondering and you don't want to make the eyebrow or the forehead too big. So then we do this kind of V sort of thing coming across and down the side towards the eyebrow and into the sideburns. Do the same thing on the other side until we get to about here, and then it changes because he's got some fringe, right? So comes down across his eyebrow and his eye a little bit, and then some more coming down across his face, all the way up and back down like so. And then some of his hairline then we can kind of see just here. Okay, so that's his face, right? And then the rest of his hair, real long, goes down behind his shoulders. So what we do, we'll get like the top of his head, and then we'll do some of the long hair and then shoulders. So top of his head is about here, and it is this bumpy kind of thing, right? Comes around, and it's about that same distance again up. Say like eyes to forehead. We'll bring you up to the top of his skull, and then you add a little bit more for the hair. And then roughly like in human proportion, top of the skull to the eyes, right, is about the same as eyes to chin, right? And then you have to add just a little bit more space because there's like hair growth and everything coming out the top. But that's your rough proportion. And then we go down, bumping, down. This goes in behind his ear, and then we have some long hair starting here, but it goes behind his shoulders. So we'll just wait till we draw the shoulders to do that. So you do this bumpy stuff, and then there can be texture lines and things. You know, typical tied back anime hair. Long hair starts to go that way, and then he's a bun tied in the back. So I know he doesn't have scars across his forehead in the movie, so if you want to add the scars, you can if you want to draw them that way. But this is, I guess, Jujutsu Kaisen O's version. And then his neck comes down here. And his collar comes down to like this V sort of shape. Just here. Some neck muscle lines. Another collar, like a white one and a blue one. So these kind of crisscross one another here. And then the lines for his shoulder, another sort of collar line here. Comes down like so, and he's got this yellow sash coming across. I think it's a Buddhist robe. I think that's what it's supposed to be anyway. And then shoulder, out, down. And we go just sort of a bump here, and then shoulder, out and down. Like roughly speaking, like his head width will bring you out to where the shoulders are, right? So the width of his head, kind of here, go out, and that's where like the edge of his shoulder will be. Same on the other side, right? That's a general rule kind of for drawing characters. There's like some fold lines and texture lines there, and then we'll just finish the rest of his hair. So we'll go spike out, back in, spike down. We go Again, a few of these spikes. Then another one here. And then it goes down behind his shoulders. Do the same thing over here. Big one. There. Some texture maybe. But that's it. That's how to draw Suguru from Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, hope it's helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.